Time is too precious. Don't let it slip away. Just break the foundation. Price ain't have to pay. Not wasting your minutes on the wrong kind of thing. Just enjoy the dance and the joy that it brings. Respect the closure. Keep the legacy high. Give them their roses before they say goodbye.
The wood feels heavier each time a legend moves on. The sets don't sound the same when the architects are gone. We lost many greats with the original spark, the ones who lit the way. When the culture was dark, they gave us the dance. And the city was blessed, they gave us.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its host, Urban Arts, its advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the positions of any entities they represent. Yo, 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 what's up, y'all? You know what time it is. It is 7 o'clock on a Tuesday, so y'all know what we gonna do. We're gonna have this conversation. We've been having a lot of conversations. We're gonna have this conversation. Linda Sanders, how are you? Thank you for checking in. Hey, Karen Nichols, how you doing? How you doing? Thank you. I appreciate y'all coming through. So I hope everyone has had a wonderful, wonderful week, despite the current climate of, or should I say, the current political climate in the world, and with all of the things going on and stuff that I think a lot of people don't believe is going to affect their lives, but I beg to differ, and I think that we're going to all be seeing some shifts in the way things get done globally and geopolitically. Hey, Jerry, how you doing, girl? Nicole Woods, how you doing? What's going on, young lady? It's good to see you. And so with that, I hope everybody has been safe this week, and I got to make sure I give shouts out to my people across the globe, and of course my people in Chicago, my home folks, my family, my cradle to the gravers. That is, one of those things where I guess I'm feeling a little nostalgic, if you will, and I want to remind everyone, and I'm going to continue to do so, that, tomorrow's not promised to any of us. Sending my condolences also out to all of the people who have lost people this week and in the last week or two, as a matter of fact. Seems like it's been a lot of folks checking out of here. And I'm not going to go down a list because, unfortunately, it is longer than it should be by, of course, however many people that is, because y'all know, like that song that I just played at the beginning, at the opening of the show, time is too precious. Don't let it slip away. Stop wasting your minutes on the wrong kind of things. We have to start to refocus and realign ourselves with the things that are more important, and the fact that we're still here. You got a lot of people who like to keep up a whole bunch of nonsense and do things that are not healthy or safe, and which is why people's insurance is so high these days. Teresa Cooper, how you doing? Thank you for checking in. Michelle Perry, how are you? And so, just on the strength of the turmoil and the things that are going on in the world, I just want to tell everybody, man, y'all embrace each other. Y'all be safe out here. Stay safe. Stay as safe as you can. And with that, y'all, tonight, what's up, Barbie Dial? Oh, Barbie, how you doing? Good to see you. Tonight, you guys, we are going to have a little bit of a discussion. And it's kind of, I guess, a continuation of some things that we have discussed in the past in regard to events. So today, a topic came up, a conversation came up with myself and some other people. And we got to talking about events, and y'all know we always talk about event cost. But I want to ask you guys, the audience, because people like me, we could sit up here all day and pontificate about what we think. Marvin Wooten, what's up, man? We could sit here all day and talk about our thoughts, and as a person in the community who speaks to and for many of you, and to continue to provide as much information as I can. Um, I don't think we spend enough time getting the information from you all, the public at large, who are the actual participants and the people who, I mean, I get paid to go to these events, so not all of them, of course, because some stuff I don't want to be working at. But it's been a long time since I've been at an event and I haven't been working, so I spend most of my time behind the camera. But I do, I do a few interviews and things like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Angela Baker, how you doing? Myra Mitchell, what's up, girl? Oh yeah, I see you. Deborah Edwards, what's up, Deb? Congratulations on your new addition to the family. So when we don't have an opportunity to really get the feedback from the people, and here's the thing, how many of you have actually been to an event? Now, I do know of one promoter who does this, but how many of you have actually been to an event and had the promoter or someone from their team literally ask you how you are doing, and if you need anything, or if you're enjoying the event, or are there any things that we could do to make improvements? We don't even have, like, say, for example, a scoring system in our community, like a Yelp or, reviews, that sort of thing, that would give us the opportunity to speak on how we feel about our experience at an event. Now, don't get me wrong. There's going to always be people. Hey, Laverne Lord, how you doing, doll? Black Knight in the building. Cherie Sanders, how are you? There's going to always be people who are going to complain. Angela Baker, I see you. No matter what, they're gonna complain. Blissful expectations, how are you? She says a concierge service. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say a concierge service, and the only reason I say that is because people tend to, sometimes you got some folks, they take advantage of when you do too much, when you give too much. Some people just continuously take. You have to be careful about giving. That has been a very, very stern lesson that I've gotten over the last couple of years about giving. I've had to pull back, and I'm talking about just period. It's just the nature of people. And I'm not saying everybody, but there are individuals who think that when there's something to be gained, they take every advantage of taking it and getting it. I have yet to experience too many sets, and like I said, I do know of one particular promoter, and I will say that Rose Wellington absolutely is always attentive to every last one of the patrons to her events, and that's why she's been going for as many years as she has. And no matter what, people are going to show up at her event because she takes care of everybody, and she makes sure, and she lets you know that she's very grateful that you took the time to come to her event and spend money. And in a market like Chicago, that is something, because Chicago has so many sets every day that for a person to choose to come to your set speaks volumes about you as a promoter. Now, I'm really hoping that this show tonight will help some promoters. Because I don't know how many promoters actually take the time and really give thought to some of the things that I'm saying, or just take it for granted. And it's not so much that they don't mean well. It's just sometimes, people overlook things. People forget things. You get involved in stuff, and you kind of like normalize not doing certain things that you should. And it's just, you just don't think about it. Now, on the other hand, you got some people, some promoters that just don't give a damn. They're more interested in making sure that you're going to drop that change in their pocket more than anything else. Kathy Barnes, how are you? Treehouse in the building. What's up, family? Blissful Expectations. I already said your name. Cynthia Young, how are you? Let's see. Normal. What's up, Normal? That's one of the fun girls right there. Kenneth Wynn. Cheryl Head. What's up, Cheryl? Bernice Portis, how are you? And Jerry Baskerville says at the Emerald set, our entire team checks on the folks whole weekend. Our hospitality is one of our hallmarks. Absolutely wonderful, Jerry. You know, Jerry, I'm going to get to you guys' event. I'm going to try to get there this year. Y'all have been doing a wonderful job over there, from what I understand. You said, oh, it's in 2 weeks. Oh, yeah, no, okay. I'm sorry, Jerry. We ain't gonna make it. we got too much going on right now. A lot happening around here. Big moves being made. We can't do it right now. And as Blissful Expectation says, to whom much is given, much is requested. Absolutely. Much is expected, to be honest with you. Cassandra Watson, how are you? Katura Green, what's up, Katura? How you doing, girl? And so I think that as a promoter, and I've promoted very small events. I've never done a very large, well, I've been a part of doing a large event, and absolutely we made sure that our people were taken care of. And because I personally believe in customer service, and I believe in finding out where my people are and making sure that they are good. David Calhoun, what's up, family? How are you? Barry Heilich in the building. So it becomes, to me, apparent, and I think that you all can see for yourselves when you're dealing with an event and you're dealing with a promoter, who's for you and who's not. And like I always say, vote with your dollars. Absolutely vote with your dollars. Choose where you're going to spend your disposable income to participate in this dance, and whether or not the value is going to be there when you do. Jerry Palmer, the king of swing, is in the building. What's up, family? I see you. Sure is that they got the people too, and don't charge you rent and your firstborn to attend their set like they out of town. Yeah. We know how that goes. Sarisa Sanders, how are you? Casino Royale in Huntsville, Alabama, July 24th is $85, and you can't beat that. Tony Brown Huff, what's up, girl? One of my promoters. See, that the promoters are falling up in here, y'all. That's a beautiful thing. And so the concern becomes, as a patron, what are your expectations? My question for the evening, and I want you guys to chime in and let us know what your thoughts are, because this is for everybody. This is for the promoters in particular. El Lamar, what's going on, family? I see you. Here come the good questions. I believe personal feedback, and sometimes you want to see problems arise, and seeing the promoter address those issues speaks volumes. Yes, it does. Example, seating and getting people involved. Yep, I agree with you 100%. Sometimes when you watch people put them fires out, it's actually impressive. And I've seen some promoters, man, that just were amazing at when that happens. And I can tell you, Tommy and Devin, Black and Bling, I've watched them put fires out, and they do it with such grace. It's almost an art form. That's a hell of a thing. And he said Ted's Crush and Cream. Yes, another one. Ted is absolutely on top of his stuff, and he makes sure that those little bitty fires that pop up, get extinguished immediately. Excellent promoter. So as I'm saying, what I want you guys' feedback. I want to know what your thoughts are in regard to what is the sweet spot? What is that magic number that makes you say, yeah, I'll go to that set, dollar-wise? Now, it doesn't mean that's what promoters should absolutely do, because in different markets, their costs are going to be different. There are factors, there are things involved that are going to make those differences in whether or not they're capable of doing something like that. Are they going to be able to provide a price point that is that makes everybody happy? Probably not. But in the market, there has to be some area where people are more, it'll increase that interest. Now, the difference is when they put down a price point, and depending on what you're willing to pay, because as consumers, we all get to a point where we're like, well, I'll pay that for that set. But at that set, what are you getting for that money? Now that takes us all the way from You Can't Beat Free, the brainchild of the Cat in the Hat, Irie Israel, and I'm familiar with the backstory of how that came to fruition, and it was more of a survival move based on competition and other things around the stepping market, but it worked out mainly because he's an excellent businessman and he was capable of negotiating deals that worked not only in his favor but to the benefit of the entire community at large. That's a concerned promoter. That's somebody who cared about the people and was determined to make sure that the people got value for what they were doing. And he was able to find a way to make it worth his while in the process. And I think that was a good thing. Tree says, I like small set over large. I'm going to see it get out of control more. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm a middle of the road set kind of guy. I don't really care for the mega sets. I mean, I go to them, I cover them, but I'm more interested. I like the 200 to 300 crowd right in that neighborhood. Those are always really good sets to me because everybody is, you don't have too many people going too far off the rails. You know what I'm saying? Irene Harrison, how are you? Thank you for checking in. I see you, Miss Sunshine. Tricia Hanton, how are you? So she says $100 is good, considering we also have to pay for a room and a flight. Absolutely, Tricia. And I think that's a good number, especially in the economy that we're in right now. And I do believe that things are going to become markedly worse economically over the next several months, based on the fact that even though we have had these conversations in the past, leading up to tonight, the fact is things have also changed again, simply because we are now at war with a foreign nation. And that is going to absolutely affect the way we travel, where we travel, how we spend our money. Like, for example, I think that like a lot of people who travel internationally, I had somebody ask me the other day about going to another country with them to take care of some things and hang out. And I was like, I'm not leaving nowhere right now. I'm not leaving the United States. That's crazy. No, 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 no. So I'm saying that to say that money that people might spend, I won't say as disposable income necessarily, but will spend that money to go to somewhere else and do some other things, might say, well, I guess I'll just go over here and I won't spend all of that money. I'll just go to a different set. Now, either that, or we're also talking about, are we going to begin losing patrons of the community because it's a convenient and casual thing to do, but are the serious matters of life going to begin to take precedent over our recreational behavior if it's going to cost us a lot of money? Now, that's why I always promote you guys constantly pushing toward the local sets and the regional sets, because not only does it help to build your own communities, but it also gives people a more practical outlet in a lesser economic challenge in order to have that same fun. Lynn John says price depends on the location too. It is hard to park. How far away is a set from the hotel, from the airport, etc. Absolutely, Lynn John, and that's my point. All of these little caveats that come with what a person is willing to pay in terms of cost. I would like to see somebody put down, like, make what is a perfect set scenario. All inclusive in the hotel, in terms of everything being centralized. Will cost take precedent over that? Like was mentioned, park and all of the little things that go with what would constitute a perfect type set. Kenneth Wynn says the price of gas will go up. In fact, Kenneth, it has gone up today, I believe, by 6% or something, some number like that. The stock market did close down today. It did get a little bit of those numbers back, but it did close in a downward position today. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting these next few weeks, to say the least. Couture Green says Stepaganza is the poster child. You are not nickel and dime for everything, yet you have so many things to do, free breakfast, etc. Yeah, that's there you go. Michelle Perry says $40 a la carte, $100 weekend passes, and more ambiance. Yeah, only problem, Miss Perry, ambiance sometimes costs money, and people aren't trying to spend a whole lot of money, but then you got some folks that's trying to make a whole lot of money, and I think that one of the other things that plays into that is what is the attitude of the promoter. Is the promoter a person who is promoting the event for the benefit of the people or for the benefit of themselves? Now, I say that because it occurred to me, um, and I got this sort of epiphany: the patron or the pocket. What is the promoter's motivation? The patron or the pocket? The promoters that I know, unfortunately, who have put on superb events and they were concerned about their patrons, didn't necessarily get the lift in the pocket. The people who want to get the lift in the pocket end up pissing off patrons. Then the question becomes, once you get to that point, as a promoter, how do you gauge the truth? And here's what I mean. You have people who will come to an event and do nothing but complain. I've seen it firsthand. You have people who will find something wrong, because you're not going to make everybody happy. That's just not going to happen. And I don't know of any particular individual who has the ability or the juice to dictate what goes on and what does not. And so, as a promoter, the question then becomes, if your event is not growing yearly, if you're a person that's doing one every year, or even if you're a person that's local and you're doing one every week, and you have a particular amount of steppers across the entire nation, in your region, in your city, if people are not coming or have come but haven't returned, or have shied away, or your event has gotten markedly smaller event by event, it would seem more productive to me that a promoter would ask questions, not only to the patrons or other people, that would be honest with them. And if they can accept the criticism, be it positive or negative, because you sometimes have to listen to all of it, would that improve their ability to provide for an event if they understood how people actually felt and actually thought about what was going on? Sunshine says, plus the airlines and these layovers are crazy. Yeah, that's another thing. These airlines are starting to lay people over. That just makes it very, very inconvenient. And I can tell you, for me, that is a no-go. No-go at this station. Treehouse says, a lot of individuals today about the money and not considered about individuals enjoying themselves. True. Sherry Kane, how are you? Thank you for checking in. Junie 14, I see you. T. Taylor Queen, how are you? Kathy Barnes, what you doing? She said $125 for the pass, open seating, free parking, fair hotel pricing, and light food. Thank you, Kathy. Now that's what I asked for. That's her sweet spot. $125 is not too much, just right. To get in, open seating. That means she ain't got to pay for a seating. She ain't got to buy no table. Parking is free. If it's at the hotel, I guess if you checked in or whatever. And fair hotel pricing, that would be part of the fair hotel pricing with free parking and light food. I think that's excellent. Cheryl Head says GDI got the solutions for us as consumers to do their event every other year is a great idea. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. But now, Cheryl, I do believe, though, hey, Vonda Powell and Sandy Bernard, I do believe, though, they have that luxury to do it every other year. I don't think everybody has that, can get away with that. And here's what I mean. some of these events require or are contingent upon their momentum and their popularity. And if they don't ride that wave, see, GDI and that Heritage Ball has been going on since I lived in Atlanta, way back. And when they started, and they have grown it year by year, and of course they've had growing pains and other things like everybody else has, but the reputation of the event has carried them to the point where they literally can get away with saying, we only gonna do this every other year. You have to have what I would consider a somewhat epic event with a solid reputation in order to do that and it be actually effective, because people, man, look, people forget quick. People forget stuff real quick. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Jamila Haas says, I think for women, Brian, women end up on the more costly end of the set, period. Hair, clothes, makeup, shoes, accessories, hotel, set entry fee, etc., only to possibly get one or two dances. And that is yet another factor, particularly as it pertains to the ladies. That is something that you definitely have to or should take consideration of. And I think that that's something that the promoters should always take consideration of. Now, we can clown a little bit. Hey, Trina Allure. Pastor D in the building. Hey, Kim Shelton, what's happening? Here's the thing. A lot of people tend to, I don't want to say make fun of, but people like Ted Williams in Arkansas, Crushing Cream. Ted makes it his business. There are other promoters who do this as well, and I don't want anybody to say, I started it, I did it, and we do that. I'm just using him as an example, but he absolutely makes it his business to stop at some point during the event each night and have the DJ stop the music and say, okay, gentlemen, I need all my men to the floor. All fellas, I need you on the floor right now. I've done it as one of his DJs. They come to the floor and they face, because he has it where the DJs are behind the floor, and then you have your basically your northeast south, right? So you'll turn to the north side of the floor, and all the ladies from that side will grab a guy. DJ play a song, they get their dance on. The ladies go sit down, the fellas stay on the floor. Face the east, all the ladies on that side of the room come up and get you a dance. And all the way around the room. For me, that makes absolutely sure that all the ladies are going to get a dance. Moni Love, how you doing, my dear? Thank you for coming through. Amanda Russell, hey. And so the other thing, there's another promoter thing, Irie. He, way back, Stepaganza, began putting seats around the edges of the dance floor. And for the simple purpose of, you have some people who come to this event, they come there to dance. They ain't there for no other nonsense. They ain't there to play around. They ain't there to have a whole bunch of socialization and conversation. They want to dance. That's what they came there for, especially the ladies. Those seats are for the people who literally are sitting there waiting for a dance. Another great idea. These are the innovations that have been presented over the years. And I think they're very important. And I think that that's something that more promoters should probably give more consideration to. Let's see. Elamar says, hope promoters have essential things to consider that may factor in the overhead costs, such as first aid responders for the community and DJ costs, reverting back to the cabaret style events to say. Elamar, I actually was about to get into that. Reginald Handy, how you doing, my brother? Valerie O'Connor, another one of my great promoters in the building. I was actually, Brenda Calloway, how you doing? I was actually getting ready to get into that. And I'm going to where one of my guy Stretch out there in Vegas. Stretch always talked about insurance. and a promoter's responsibility in regard to the health of the steppers, because as long as we've been doing this, we have actually had tragedy on the dance floor. We've had crisis come up on the dance floor. We've had situations where people needed first aid. Um, and as promoters, it becomes a relevant issue as to whether or not they have taken the time to secure event insurance. A lot of promoters don't even think about this. It's not even in their wheelhouse and not in their thought process. But let's be honest, if something were to happen, um, you know, somebody actually is at an event, and let's say not at the 50 or, somewhere like that, where they have, basic insurance for the building and all the kind of stuff that goes on. But when you start talking about an event, what if someone trips over the carpet? Now, of course, the hotel is going to be liable, but the promoter is also going to be held liable. And the question becomes, if someone should just not even accidentally fall, let's say they staged it and failed and said, oh my God, I broke my leg in here, and it's y'all's fault because your floor, and we have had this happen, came apart because your floor is not secure or something of that nature. We've seen that. I've seen people fall. I've seen women's heels get caught in things. Yes, those are accidents, and yes, they are, they happen. But as a promoter, are you prepared to foot that bill? Recently, there was an event that took place, and they definitely had some people who were trying to come at the promoters legally for something, and they were prepared for it, fortunately, but they were smart enough to be that. So when, a lot of people get to talking about, I'm going to give this event, I'm going to do this, I'm going to put on this party, have they as promoters figured that as part of the expense for doing that? But now going back to what I was saying a little bit earlier, if an event begins to lose momentum from one year to the next, it's going to happen. It happens. I don't care who the promoter is. It's going to happen. But the question should be in their mind, why? Can they pinpoint? Are they good enough business people to pinpoint where the shrinkage is and why? Does it have something to do with the way they treat their patrons? Does it have something to do with the economy at the time? Does it have something to do with, maybe taking shortcuts or doing some things that, were not as savory for people, and they say, you know what, I ain't never going back there. And we have that happen. So I think those are questions that should be asked. Tricia Hatton, how are you? She says, yes, the heels get caught in the cracks a lot. Yeah, so that's just yet another example. And all it takes is for a lady's heel to get caught and her ankle get twisted, and next thing you know, you have a lawsuit and you're looking at a lot of money, medical bills, and so on. And again, it goes back to what I have said in the past and what I will continue to say, and that is that all of us should be holding promoters accountable for not the basic stuff. I mean, and I say not the basic stuff, but it is still their responsibility. But I do say that when things are out of pocket and people are not doing what they should do by the people who spend their money, the real heavy hitters, the actual heavy hitters are the people who spend that money to fly all over the country and come to an event. And, that you got to realize, if you actually do the math on what it's cost, and y'all know we've done that on here multiple times, when you do the math on what it costs the person to go to one event a year, let's not even just add 4 or 5 more, which some people do go to. If you just one event, that's a vacation for some people. That's literally a cruise somewhere else. Go see another part of the world, different things like that. So promoters should, I think, be more grateful that people are willing to spend that kind of money and, come and share their space and time with them and us all together collectively. um, Treehouse says, I remember a lot of individuals were letting some men in free because they knew they were going to dance with all the ladies. These individuals had bands on the arm. Yes, absolutely. Some promoters in that on that in that respect, and I'll use Angie Fain as an example out in Phoenix, um, Jules and Gents. She had dance ambassadors, and I have seen other promoters do exactly the same thing, where they have a pin that they will put on a gentleman's lapel or their shirt that was flashing. It was a little red light that would flash. And if you ladies, if you saw that guy with that little red light, if you grabbed him, you're going to get a dance. But that is a thoughtful promoter. That is yet another one of those promoters who now has retired from the game, unfortunately, because she gave fantastic events. Her event, man, you talking about beautiful, just done right all the way across the board. Angie Fain, shout out. Um, I hate she's not doing them anymore, but I understand why. I do. Um, hey, Jeannie Shoe Girl, what's happening? See you. Patrice Robbins, another one of my fantastic promoters in the building. Um, so she had those dance ambassadors, and it always was good because no matter what, the ladies could always grab one of them, and they would always get a dance. It's kind of like going to the skating rink, and they got skates for everybody. So you can get, you're gonna get your skate on. You don't have to borrow nobody's skates. You know what I'm talking about. Tricia Hatton says we have designated dancers for our large oldies events. There you go. Very good. El Lamar says, ask the community what makes an event fun beside the jello shots and meeting people who would not normally cross your path. That's a good question, you guys. What makes an event fun to you? What is it that makes it where you would say, hey, I'm coming back. That was fun. I like that. Darlene Bridges, hey, how you doing, darling? Darlene Bridges, Moon, I see you. Nicolette Torres, how are you? Patricia Robbins. You guys, so y'all know Popping with Poppy is going to be on tonight. We're doing yet another small test run. It is Women's Month, and the producer lady will be doing her show later on this evening. So y'all get ready and stay tuned for that. And we're going to be kicking this thing off officially mid-month for Women's Month. So, y'all women, going to do your thing. Even fellas invited too now. Don't, y'all know we're going to have something to say because they can't be trusted to be by themselves. they can't be trusted alone. Anyway, so the I got another good one for y'all. So I had a conversation today with someone, an instructor, as a matter of fact. Now I got to ask y'all this. Hey, Carol Davis. This is going to be a big, y'all got to answer me now. I need to know. Do you think that, you're going to call in? Do you think that the days of workshops is coming to a close? What are your thoughts on workshops and the participation and people's ability to learn in those workshops? Is this becoming passe? Or are we having so many new people come into the fold of the dance that they will remain necessary? Because I personally don't see the influx of individuals that I think we should be seeing. But that's just a question. Tell me what y'all think. Tiffany Span, how are you? She says, hello, I am live in Minnesota, but came here, Chicago. I miss stepping so much. Thank you for your videos. Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate it. People like you who keep me going. Thank you. And let me know that, what we do is worthwhile. Because that's the the minute y'all say y'all don't want to see Inside Stepping no more, baby, I'm out of here. Let's see. Hey, Sandra Davis. Levita Vaughn, how you doing? Ray Richardson in the building. What's up? L.A. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Katura Green says the participation is down because they will not guarantee levels are not clumped together. Yeah. But it's hard, I think, to separate when you start talking about doing a workshop. So many people want to touch hands with that instructor or get some gems from that instructor. And everybody's dance level is often very different. So I know that's got to be complicated for the instructors themselves to even manage and navigate. I've watched them do it, but yeah, I got that. Um, Michelle Perry says, great music, laughter, kindness, great dances, just having fun with each other. Now, I agree with that too, Michelle. I like it when I'm having a good time with good people. Yeah. And she says, yes, it's fading. Let's see. Barbie Dial says, more stuff for newcomers. Some people are new, some are new, and actually excited and interested. There's a difference. Yeah. Barbie, I agree. And knowing that you are an excited newbie, I am always entertained by watching you grow in the dance, and I'm enjoying your journey. And I wish we had more of you. You do a fantastic job of just trying to absorb the culture and the knowledge and the information. And you are the poster child for what a new stepper should be. Couture says an intermediate dancer does not want to learn with a beginner, yeah, and I agree with that. Well, maybe they should definitely give, I guess, some guidelines that would say, this is not a beginner's situation. So if you're a beginner, but then even though you may say that, and I've seen this happen, they'll say this is intermediate, and I've seen beginners show up and they be lost in the sauce, man. I've seen that. Valerie O'Connor says, yeah, I think so only because I don't feel or see recruitment happening at sets. Just my opinion. Yep. Yeah, I don't see it. It's just not happening. Um, Sharisa Sanders says, if you don't dance after the workshop, you lose what you learned. Thank you, Patrice. I appreciate you. Thank you. Bernice Newsom Short says, hey, how you doing, Bernice? Nicolette Torres says, I'm fairly new, 3 years, but I do feel like you learn more with actually dancing. Privates, though, yes, you get to actually touch a hand to practice what they are teaching. Yes, I agree. And I'm going to agree with that comment about just doing the dance. I definitely agree with that. Cynthia Warren says, hi, Brian. I'd rather a private over a workshop. It's more custom to your needs. I agree with that. Let's see. And Katura Green says, problem solved. Yep. That's up to the promoters to schedule more than one workshop or the beginners this hour and the next hour, intermediate and beyond. Absolutely. I agree with that. Let's see. Barbara Dow says they had the people under 2 years come out and dance with seasoned dancers during the grab bag contest, and that was awesome. Yes, I think that's a great touch. Absolutely. Blissful Expectation says instructors in conferences often increase the competence of potential new competitors. Yeah. Ella Mar, is there dance being taught in schools anymore, like in high school, to grab the youth? And will promoters allow 18-year-old or younger patrons? Huh. Interesting. Jeannie says the music motivates the instructional atmosphere. I agree. Lamar, there are people. See, one of the problems with our dance, ambassador in the building, is that we lack organization. We lack, and don't get me wrong, it can be organized tomorrow. The necessary legalities are in place. The problem is that on a social level and on a um, cultural level, it is very difficult to put those things in their proper perspective so that the dance, and there are people, I believe Claudel and a couple of others who have literally taught the dance in college environments and in some other places on a more professional level, if you will. And I'm saying that specifically when we talk about in terms of academia. When it comes to our school systems, for example, Chicago is heavily, or used to be, I don't know, it's been a long time since I've been in the Chicago school system, having any involvement in it. But we used to learn square dancing, good old hoedown square dancing. That was part of the curriculum in gym class during, I think, first year high school or something like that. And my theory on today is that that should not be, and it should be Chicago stepping, because the Chicago school system has always been um, very pro black in terms of teaching black history and doing things that were conducive to the populace of particular school in particular areas of the city, because you still got to remember Chicago is a very segregated city still to this day. But with that, I would love to see that being taught in the school system, which would then bring more of the future of the dance forward. Now, there have been individuals throughout the community who have introduced youngsters to the dance and have had them at events. Uh, there, and I've heard people kind of frown upon it. I think it was mostly well received, but I have heard people who had a problem with it, um, which I don't see anything wrong with it. We're not at a rabble rousing, drunkard event. Most people, a lot of people try to stay sober, nowadays. But I don't really see a problem with it. But I do think that it should be done in moderation. So there's that. Treehouse says, just my opinion, I think coming out to dance is the best teacher. When you come out around steppers, not just classes, you can learn so much from different styles of dancers. Tricia says, a skilled leader can elevate the dance of a newbie right on the floor. Absolutely. Christine Jones says, just get out there with 5 left feet. Eventually you will pick it up. You will pick up on it. 75% of the crowd can't step. No one knows the difference but them. I ain't even going to argue with you. I ain't going to argue with you. You know, if we take it back to the past and the history and the dance, simple fact of the matter was we did things like practiced and messed around. We in the basement, danced with the pole. We did all sorts of stuff to get particular moves, just, playing around and that kind of thing. But most of what we saw and learned and did was on the floor. We didn't have instructors back in those days. Wasn't nobody teaching nobody. It was people you call them your dance partner. It was people you would dance with, and you perfect certain moves. Because again, back during the time when I came up in the game, it was more of a competition, of a sort of a male battle, gladiator sport, if you will. And so you hung out with the homies and y'all got them dance moves down, and that's why you see people to this day who some of their dance moves have not changed from then to now, yet they're still capable and able, more than able, to dance with anybody in the new school dance community. So Kim Murray says, I'm proud to say my high school in Las Vegas allowed me to teach students and staff Chicago stepping. Thank you, Kim. Absolutely. I love that. Fantastic. Treehouse says a lot of individuals just studied and looked at others. Yes, we are from Treehouse, being a little older than me. He's the generation ahead of me in the dance. We are from the watch and learn generation. We are what that was how we got it. When nobody saying, okay, step one on your 1 and the 2 and step in 3, and we ain't had none of that. None of that. We didn't have that. So y'all actually have a sort of there's a benefit to how the dance is being taught today, and allows a lot of people to participate with minimal, I ain't gonna say minimal effort, because it has been turned into some sort of complicated confusion for some folks. But some people got 2 left feet for real, and the way the dance is taught today, it allows you to gain a right foot. So back in the day, if you either had it or you didn't. You could either do it or you couldn't. It wasn't no in between, really. But even then, and this goes back to the earlier part of this discussion. One thing that I really, really, really want to see, is people just stop harassing other people about the dance. Everybody is not in this for a competition. Everybody is not in this to impress or prove anything to anybody else. They're there for the dance and for their own personal reasons, whatever that is, and they should be left to that. Leave them alone. Let's see. Christine Jones says, I learned in the floor at the Rose and Fifth City. Didn't know what the hell I was doing, but Dre and Tick stepped with me anyway. Exactly. And there you go. Um, Katura Nolan, Jared Taylor, getting all the shout outs, sir. Proud of you. Okay. uh, Carol Davis, yes, I used to watch Casper and Johnny Step. Yep. That's how I learned most of my old school steps. That's it. That's just what Janice. Yeah, okay. There you go. Um, man, may she rest in peace. That girl, there was something else. But yeah, um, that's that was the way things were done then. So um, I do believe, and I've said this recently. I'm going to say it again for the sake of clarity. I do believe that we are going to also, not only are we going to be seeing transitions take place throughout our nation and around the world over the next couple of years, I believe that we're also going to be seeing a lot of that in our community of dance. I want people to prepare themselves for those shifts and be ready to make the adjustments necessary in order to continue to enjoy the dance and not um, make it difficult for yourselves, really, or anybody else. Ella Mar says, question for the producer lady. Could she and her contacts build a first time steppers visit to Chicago? Our first time will be in April. Oh, somebody done abducted a child. That child abduction going on. Let me read that again. Could you and your contacts build a first time steppers visit to Chicago? Our first time will be in April and excited just from the info given from forums like Inside Stepping. April when? April what? Give us a date and we will see what we can put together. Let's see. We got what we got.
So the plane fare high, we need a date.
Well, we got right, yeah, okay. We need a date, Jack. These plane fares, and I ain't look, and I don't drive like I used to, y'all. I used to hit that highway, man. I'd be in Chicago. I didn't drive fast. I fly low. I get Chicago quick. I don't even want to drive no more.
April
Not like that.
Vale's birthday party.
Yeah. Oh yeah. April 24th is Vale's birthday party, and we got something else in April too, don't we?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Kim's
We
party
got.
in April.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we can do April.
Reggie Miles says it's a social partner dancing with the emphasis on social. Absolutely, Reggie Miles. Conversations in the building, y'all. Dang, I forgot what I was getting ready to say. Oh, he said the 4th through the 9th. April 4th through the 9th. That sounds like something. Don't we got something on the first April 4th through the 9th? We'll look at the calendar and see what we got going on. Oh man, Shawnette Butterfly. She said, "Come to Houston. Our wedding is this weekend." Did we? How did we miss that? Oh, Poppy said she got to work this weekend. Okay.
I seen it, but I
Oh,
worked.
okay. I didn't see it. My apologies. Well, listen, if we don't make it, Dr. Butterfly, congratulations to you and that young man. May y'all have many blissful years of dance and fun. Look like y'all are enjoying life, and I'm glad to see you doing what you're doing. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. You know, I always been a cheerleader of yours. You know that, right? So I'm just saying. So I'm on. I think we're done tonight. I don't have a whole lot. Yeah.
So did everybody answer their pricing? What they
Yeah,
like?
we got some good responses on the pricing.
Ask them would they go to $200 party.
Yeah, no, we ain't doing that. Cause why? Cause let me ask you a question. Now the producer lady just said, ask them would they go to a $200 party. Listen, y'all. No, they would under the right circumstances. And if what they're getting for their money is right. See, this is about value. But this goes back to what I was saying earlier. And I said this on a previous show. Think about this. You spend $1,000 as one person, an individual, flying, dressing, eating, hotel room, event. You're going to spend $1,000. You could take that same $1,000, fly to Chicago, still have $500. You see what I'm saying? Get you an inexpensive hotel or Airbnb and party your ass off for a week and just be done spent $1,000 and get all the dances and do. You could do so much with that same money just going to Chicago. I'm just saying. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I'm not discouraging anybody from spending their money how they want to or going where they want to go because I mean, we go places. Hell, one year, I know for a fact we spent close to $30,000 just traveling around going to stepper sets. We had to think about that. That was before Inside Stepping, right? It was something we had to think about. Like, wait a minute, hold up. I mean, we having fun and all that, but that's a lot of money. So I'm just saying. See, there go the producer lady. That was a tax write-off. Yes, it was. But anyway, so you just have to you have to decide what's most important for you and where your value lies and what you want to do as an individual in the community. But my bottom line is, if you're not enjoying yourself, if you come to the set angry, you come to the set looking for problems, you come to the set complaining about dance and people's dance and all the other stuff that goes with, whatever your grievances and your personal beefs are. I tell people them all the time, leave your problems at home. That is not what people come here for. Leave your problems at home, check your ego at the door, enjoy the dance, and as Mr. Reggie Miles just said, this is a couple partner social dance. Come there, have them 3-minute romances on the floor, get the vibe, the energy, enjoy it, love it, go home. That's it. It doesn't require any more than that. You're a fool. You spend your money to go somewhere for beef. That's just me. So, Sunshine said, I wish I would spend that for a stepping weekend. Stepping in 5% of my life activity. Yeah, I listen, everybody do things different, baby. Everybody do things different. I'm just saying. Donnie Chisholm says to Reggie Miles, the benefits of social partner dancing are too many to count. The friendships, the connections, the support, the systems formed, health benefits, happy dance, endorphins are amazing. Absolutely, Donnie Chisholm. I agree with you 150%. Let's see. That's right. El Lamar said, at there, get to Chicago and even visit places and try to be safe and just dance. There you go. Jamaica Jackson, how are you? Thank you for checking in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for me. I just wanted to put a few things on your mind, give you something to think about, and hopefully some of the promoters took away a few of the points that were made tonight and to help benefit them and the community to do a better job about taking care of one another and having good events. Nothing wrong with having a good event, y'all. Dr. Shawnette Haywood says it is social, but a lot of people are being too serious. I just heard someone say that it is not about having fun. Oh, wow. Somebody actually said that? Ooh, that's deep. Right. What is it about then? You should have asked them what is it about if it's not for fun. I don't get it. Like, oh, that's way out right there. All right, that's enough of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to turn y'all loose. Stay tuned. In about an hour, you all Popping with Poppy will be coming on, and she's gonna be doing her thing. This is one of her test runs for the night. We working out the logistics, the details, the little stuff, and then she's gonna be doing her official show coming up, complete with guests and everything, y'all. So with that said, you guys, I will always continue to encourage you to be safe, to try as hard as you can to love on one another and take care of each other and just do the right thing, whatever that is in your world. And that don't mean that do the right thing don't mean do the wrong thing. It just means do the right thing. You know what's right and wrong, do right. Do right. Don't be like me. Kathleen Rose Davis, how you doing? She said, Poppy, it's 10 on the East Coast. You killing me. 10 her
I'm
show,
so sorry.
9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Yeah. Kathleen,
After
we
hours,
we
gonna be cussing and
we
stuff.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
look, it's meant to be after hours. But just hold on. You know, we working all the details out. It'll be, it'll be a thing. It'll be a thing. Just hold on. Just hold on. We got you.
Tell her thank you.
And she said thank you. Yeah, I'm sure she heard you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and coming and hanging out. I love you. Ain't nothing y'all can do about it. So just suck it up, as they say. You'll be all right. Have yourselves a wonderful week. Take care of somebody, if it ain't nothing but yourself. And we gone. Deuces. The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its host, Urban Arts Enterprises, its advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers do not necessarily reflect the views and positions of any entities they represent.
Time is too precious. Don't let it slip away. Just break the foundation. Price ain't have to pay. Stop wasting your minutes on the wrong kind of thing. Just enjoy the dance and enjoy that it brings. Respect the closure. Keep the legacy high. Give them their roses before they say goodbye.
The wood feels heavier each time a legend moves on. The sets don't sound the same when the architects are gone. We lost many greats with the original spark, the ones who lit the way. When the culture was dark, they gave us the dance. And the city was blessed, they gave us the rhythm. They gave us the best. The East is quiet, the 50 is changed, but the Danes, they left us, but remain the same. Hey, we vivid every side, every soulful connection is a gift from a pioneer reaching for perfection. The dancing in the spirit, now watching the floor, hoping we don't lose the heart of what it was created.
Time is too precious. Don't let it slip away. Just break the foundation and the price you had to pay. Stop wasting your minutes on the wrong kind of thing. Just enjoy the dance and the joy that it brings. Respect for culture. Keep the legacy high. Give them the roses before they say goodbye.
Now look at all the elders who are still on this side. With silver in their hair and wisdom over time. They got more years behind them than they do in the front. So respect again, if I may be blunt. Head up walking like rays, the keepers of the fame. Keep them with high when you mention the name. If you knew it or would, if you just join the set. Don't walking entitled, like we're in your debt. Listen to the stories, watch the way they move. There's a secret in the silence of a pioneer's groove. They won't be here forever, took a courageous stride. So swallow your ego and put down your pride.
Time is too precious. Don't let it slip away. Respect the foundation. And the price ain't had to pay. Stop wasting your minutes on the wrong kind of thing. Just enjoy the dance and the joy that it brings. Respect the culture. Keep the legacy high. Give them their roses before they say goodbye.
If you being good at house, you just walk through the door. Take off your hat when you step on the floor. And stop trying to update what's already been done. Just be grateful you're standing in this Chicago's time. No waste of time trying to skill the design. Just learn the veins and hold the line. Clock is ticking for the kings and the queens who showed us exactly what stepping really means.
Time is too precious.